Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Jared with Jared's Custom Lures. Today I'm going to do a video on using the cheaper acrylic paint from Hobby Lobby, Walmart, or any craft store. These paints range from 89 cents to $4.99. To use these paints through an airbrush, you have to reduce it. Now I do have a video on my channel on how I make my homemade reducer. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check that out at your leisure. But today, I'm going to show you how I use this using the reducer. So why don't you join me over at the paint bench. Alrighty, welcome back to the paint desk. So, my first color I'm going to shoot is this Spanish olive. We're going to shake it up really good because it's really thick. Pour it into a mixing cup. And then please don't forget the reducer. I do about 50-50 on these, maybe a little less. 60-40, 50-50. I mix it in a cup by eye until you get that milky consistency. Covers up. Pour these back into here. And always do a test spray. I like to shoot this around 30 to 35 psi and just light even coats. I'm painting this bait for my son. He's the lucky one. He gets the ones that come from the factory that have a little defect in them or anything. If you can see that right there. So he gets all the defect ones. As you can see, it's going on very smooth. No splattering issues, no nothing. And with the reducer, it dries pretty quick. You can almost dry it just with the air. See, no paint. I'm just drying it with the air gun, with a brush. It's already dry. Put another coat on. Alright, I'm going to clean my brush out. We'll be back in a second. Reminds me, I always use airbrush cleaner to clean this out. It just seems to clean the gun out a little bit more easier with no problems. Alright, that's cleaned out. I'm going to use, next color, I'm going to go over the back with just a little bit of hunter green. The downfall of using the cheaper acrylic paints, in my opinion, is constantly have to mix them with reducer. I use Dixie cups from Walmart, get them by the hundreds. You know, it does get, the cost does add up over time, but it seemed to be the cheapest way for me to mix paints. If you guys know another way or a cheaper way, hey, leave a note, leave a comment, let me know. Again, I'm going to do this one about 60-40, 60% paint, 40% reducer. I try to use the same old paintbrush to stir it up with. Stir it really well. You'll see the chunks down in there. I don't know if you can see those chunks through here. Make sure those disappear. Get a good mix on them. It's almost a perfect mix right there. Alright. Fill up the airbrush. Now, if you mix too much, like see I mixed a little too much for this, I go ahead and dip it back into the acrylic paint. It doesn't hurt anything. Just make sure you mix it up. Shake it up the next time you use it. Adjust my camera here so you guys can see. As you can see, it's going over really nice. These light thin coats. You don't want to cake it on there because it will run on you. It will fisheye. Light coats. Alright, I'm going to flash dry that. We got that all flash dried. You can see it's got a little bit of a duller finish to it. But as soon as you clear it, it will kind of bring that shine back a little bit. And I'll have some videos on, or some pictures of after everything's all said and done with the clear. I'm just going to put one more coat over top of the back here. And I'm going to call this color done. Voila. Done. I will detail it all off of camera and that, but for the purpose of this video, I just wanted to show you guys that you can use this all-purpose acrylic paint if you reduce it properly. If you have any questions, any concerns, please shoot me a comment, hit me up in the email. Everything's listed on my channel. But I'm going to do one more lure here just to show you guys a different acrylic that I like using too. It is made by Folk Art. It's that color shift. Man, this stuff is really great. So, the old paint, not enough, or made too much, just dump it back in there. And when you go to use it next time, shake it up really well, and just mix it up. Now, of course, the more you add to it, the less reducer you'll need down the road. But I don't recommend putting all reducer in here. You don't have enough room, and it'll dry out if you don't close the lid properly or anything like that. But for that little bit, it doesn't hurt anything. Alrighty, so I decided I'm going to do this blue flash color shift by Folk Art. Again, we have to reduce this down too. Here's what I like about this stuff. That black base is going to have a different reaction to this color than the white will. Thinned it down just a little too bit, so add a little more paint to it. If it's not thin enough, add a little more reducer to it. I thinned it down a little too much. Now the thinner you get your paint, the lower airbrush you want. There we go, right on spot. Let that sit for a second, get those bubbles out. Chamber is clean. Let's fill her up. Alright. Okay, bring this in closer. We're gonna flash dry that real quick, and we're gonna put another coat or two on. Alright, I'm gonna put another coat on here. Alright, I loaded that one up pretty good. I'm going to flash dry it again. Check it out. We might need another coat. We might not. So, we'll be back in a minute. So I'm going to put one more coat on here. Oh, fill up the chamber a little bit more. Alright, we're going to let that set. Since I have this in my gun, I am going to do this base purple. Make this all 100% purple with this. This one was for another project, but I was going to use this color on this anyways. So I figured while it was in the chamber, I would just go ahead and hit that lure and let it dry so I can do the effects I want to do to it later. So, we're pretty much done with the cheap acrylic from Walmart or wherever you can get it. As you can see, it sprays pretty decently. I like the dull finish on this one here. I know it's going to shine up a little bit when we dip it into KBS. We'll show you all that when it's all said and done and dry. Thanks for watching this video. I appreciate you guys and you guys helping me out. If you can, go over and hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button for me also. Really appreciate it. You guys take care.